You might get a kick out of this interview. Here's the man, Dvorin, that popularized the phrase, Elvis has left the building.
I was the band leader then, plus booking agent, director, producer, concessionaire, a few other things. Well, I had done everything on the show, but I hadn't announced. We were opening in Minneapolis on a tour. Colonel Parker comes over to me, he says, Al, this is so-and-so. Tell him about our concessions, tell him about our whole operation, our security, and he'll announce the show on this tour. So I helped the guy out. The guy announces the opening show in Minneapolis. Parker comes over. He said, get rid of him. Get him off the stage, pay him, put him on something else. I do not want him at the microphone. I said, what's wrong? He says, Al, he doesn't fit our show. I said, but you hired him. I said, what are we doing for an announcer for the rest of the tour? He said, I have a replacement. I said, who? He says, you. I said, look, I've done everything else for you, but I'm not a qualified announcer. Don't make a fool of me. Al, he says, who's the boss? I said, you're the boss. He said, then you're the announcer. So I went down to the dressing room, locked the door, looked in the mirror, and I'm talking to myself. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing's coming out right. The following night, I walked on stage. I got as far as, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Elvis Presley Show. As I said that, goddamn lights go out, spotlights in my eye, I can't see the damn thing. We're towards the end of the show, and Elvis is finishing his last number. I went to Colonel Parker. I said, what do I do now when he jumps off the stage? He said, just tell him that he's gone. That's it. So Elvis runs out to the limo. He's on his way out with the gang. I went to the microphone. I said, ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night. No one believed me. So they hung around in the area, and I said, don't forget those Elvis super souvenirs, a living, loving color. Wonderful memento of this evening's concert, you'll long cherish. I would go on and on and on, and we outsold anybody in the world. We held the record for sales and everything else in every stadium. That's basically the story on how I became the announcer. He was a good man, a charitable man, the finest entertainer to ever live. I feel proud. I feel it was an honor to have associated with the man and with everything he stood for. When he did a charity show, every cent went to charity. Nothing was deducted for expenses. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.